Okay, so we're gonna get up and kind of get an acceleration here. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Sport S. First and foremost though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Gladiator Sport S. Check out their inventory in the description down below. Let's hop right into the video. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 3.6 liter V6. It goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 17 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 285 horsepower and then 260 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go over the front end of the Gladiator Sport S. So first off, you have these two little things, so you can lower down the windshield onto them. Now this one is equipped with the full LED lights. You can see we've got the LED headlights with the accent light off to the side, and then that also doubles as the turn signal indicator. We've got the fog lights here at the bottom with the tow hooks there on the front. Jeep's signature front grille. And overall, with the LED lights, I actually think this looks really nice and kind of has an upscale look to it for a Gladiator. Coming around the side here, we've got two 45mm tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see the design here on the wheel itself. You know, more on the basic side of things, but again, it's a Sport S. What do you expect? Anyways, you guys can see the front suspension here with it. And this does have a solid front axle. It's part of the Gladiators and the Wranglers. And this one has the body painted fender flares, which I think, again, add to the style of this particular Gladiator. We've got our Jeep logo, our Gladiator logo, the trail rated 4x4 badge. Notice those are all blacked out, which match a lot of the elements on this one. So notice that the top is black, the mirrors, the door handles, all that stuff. So it all ties in together, and I think it looks great overall. And then finishing things up here in the rear, you guys can see the exhaust a little bit, but then with the shocks and stuff in the rear end, there you go. So here is our key fob for the Gladiator. You guys can see that we've got the flip out key. There we go. But anyways, we have the unlock, the lock, and the remote start. We have a payload capacity of 1,070 pounds with this Sport S. And you guys can see we've got the LED lights here in the bed. And you guys can see bed space for a mid-sized truck is really solid. Also, this is probably the lightest mid-sized truck tailgates just ever. Now finishing things up here in the rear, you guys can see we have the base taillights here because again, Sport S. You can see the bumpers here on the back with the recovery hook right there and the receiver hitch down below. And overall, I really like the theme on this. Again, it's got like the black/white theme, just like this Rubicon here and that Rubicon there and that Rubicon there. They're all twins, but anyways, that's all. Popping here into the back, you get some padding to rest your arm for the rear passenger, and then you guys can see these seats here, and guess what? We have under-seat storage as well, which is definitely a huge plus, just like most trucks. Got the vents back here, got the window controls in the center, some cup holders. Just like most mid-sized trucks, you can fit adults back there pretty comfortably. It is a little bit more cramped than like a full-size truck, but still really good. Anyways, so now here's a door panel at the front. Again, you guys can see here with the padding, we do have the mirror similar to what you have on the Wrangler, and then you guys can see we've got the heated mirror function on that. And then I love the look of the door handle, mirror adjustment, door lock and unlock. And then here are the front seats, full cloth here. I really like the center portion, kind of the design on that. And then the seats are fully manually adjustable. There's the pedals. We got the light control here at the fog lights. And then if you guys are wondering here with this particular light, that's for the bed lights there in the bed. So you press this and, well, I got to press it again, I guess. Anyways, now you guys can see. Turns on the lights in the bed. So it's that button right there. So here's the steering wheel in the Sport S, and this is something that I love about Jeep is the fact that they give pretty much all of their vehicles really nice looking steering wheels and then feeling steering wheels. Look at the nice leather all around with the stitching here on the center. Got the cruise control there, got the controls for center stack, voice command, phone controls. Radio controls are on the back. You guys can kind of sort of see that whole setup. We have our windshield wiper stock, we have our turn signal stock, and yeah, that's all for the steering wheel. Now here's the center gauge cluster. You've got the RPMs on the left side, on the right side you've got the speed, and then you've got a bunch of different menus that you can scroll through, like the fuel economy and all that kind of stuff, for example. But yeah, overall, I think it looks good, similar to what you have in the Wrangler, and there you go. Now here's the center infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. You can see the backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel, and then you do have the zoom function, which is another nice feature to have. Resolution's fantastic. And then as for the infotainment system, response time's great. And you guys will notice we have heated seats and a heated steering wheel here in this Sport S, which definitely adds to the luxuriness of it. Single zone climate right here. But yeah, overall, really easy to use infotainment system. And notice how it's all sealed off. That's because you can spray down the interiors of these. And so it's cool that you still get a modern infotainment system, but then it's also practical as well. We've got all of our analog controls here for the radio and the climate system, the heated seats, heated steering wheel. We've got a recirculate button that looks like a little Jeep Wrangler, and then we've got our off-road cruise control that also looks like a little Jeep Wrangler. Stability control, auto stop start. We've got the window controls here, and then you got that for the charging, and then down below we have our drive line select. So this has 2-wheel high, 4-wheel high, neutral, and then 4-wheel low. Shifter for that 8-speed automatic. We have a couple cup holders with the key holder, and then a regular brake. And then you can see here at the center console, that whole setup, definitely nice and practical. Also another USB inside of that. And then look at the material used here on the outside of the glove box. Got the nice Jeep grab handle. Then you guys can see the storage space there with the glove box. And then you can remove, this one is a hard top obviously, so you can remove this with these little latches. The back requires tools. And then this has the mirror dimmer, which is manual. Also, universal garage door openers on this sun visor. Nice. So here's a window sticker for this Sport S. Anyways, we're gonna start with the optional equipment because that's the most important stuff. I don't know if you guys will be able to see very well because of the glare, but the base MSRP is $35,315. But again, this has the S package, which is $3,400. Definitely worth it. After all the options on this particular one, it's $46,385. And wait for it, wait a little bit longer. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's visibility over the hood, both of the mirrors, the rest of the rear, and let's set off. Setting off here in this Gladiator, and I feel like it's been quite some time since I have driven a Gladiator, which is kind of sad because it's an interesting vehicle. Well, actually, hasn't been super long now that I realize. Posted a video on these recently, but feels like it always feels like it's been like such a long time with Jeeps because they're so unique, and so every time you pop into it, you're like, ah, I remember, at least with the Wranglers and the Gladiators. But anyways, first off, from a ride quality perspective with the Sport S, it's actually a really good daily driver vehicle. It's pretty smooth. Again, considering this is a vehicle you can take the top and the doors off and everything else, it's impressive how smooth this is from a ride quality perspective. The steering isn't as vague as what Jeeps used to have. There is still kind of like that little bit of on-center vagueness, but it's not bad at all. Compared to like a modern sports car or something, yeah, you can definitely tell the difference between this and that. But this is very manageable, and it's super easy to drive. It's not uncomfortable by any means. And speaking of uncomfortable or not, right, seats. The seats here in the Gladiator are actually really nice. They're supportive, and I like how firm they are. I definitely appreciate that for like off-roading and everything, because then that means that you're basically going to be like upright and everything, and it's going to be comfortable over long journeys. Also, we got a Ferrari over there. Definitely nice. But yeah, that's kind of the initial stuff. Taking a turn here and getting up and moving. 8-speed automatic is crisp, but you're gonna pop into the manual mode. Super smooth in the manual mode. Yeah, really smooth in the manual mode actually with the gear shifts. That is definitely impressive. Are you part of U-Turn City? No, you are not. Okay, so we're gonna get up and kind of get an acceleration here. Yeah, this 8-speed automatic is so responsive. And I know the Gladiator never had a 5-speed, but the old Wrangler did, and it's such a huge difference. Going from the transmission the Wrangler used to have to this new 8-speed, it's crazy. And yeah, it works just as well in the Gladiator as it does in the Wrangler. And it makes this V6 feel like how it should in this vehicle, especially around town and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, super solid, super impressive as well. And I guess that'll kind of get me into summing things up with the Sport S. So first off, exterior wise, I like this Sport S. I like the fact they did the LED lights in the front because that's going to help out with visibility at night, and also just makes it look a little bit more upscale. So I definitely think getting the LED lights is worth it, right? From a visibility perspective, and then also from a aesthetic perspective. Interior wise, right? This has all the stuff you need and none of the stuff you don't need. It's got nice cloth seats, they're comfortable, it's got heated seats, heated steering wheel. It's not like you can get air conditioned seats in any of the Gladiators, so you're not really missing anything from a seat perspective. And then on top of that, driving wise, it's comfortable, it's smooth, it's a really good daily driver. The thing that I see about the Sport S is this is a great vehicle to build a really cool crawler off of, because obviously the Rubicon's great, but if you want to do something crazy, like you want to do a crazy lift and tires and everything, then this has a lower cost than a Rubicon, right? The starting cost. And so you have a little bit more money for those modifications, and so this would be a great vehicle to do a build on. And again, this has the luxury stuff, so you'd still be able to daily drive it, no problem. So overall, yeah, I think the Sport S is great. And as like an on-road vehicle or as a vehicle to do a crazy build on, I definitely think this is a great route to go. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this 2022 Jeep Gladiator Sport S. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Jeep Crystal here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this Gladiator. Check the inventory in the description down below. I'll see all of you in that next video.